Hi guys, hi Daniel, hi Kaushik. Thank you for joining today. I hope we can have a discussion on the latest new topic that we have Web 3.0.
Yeah.
So I want you guys to imagine a new kind of internet that not only accurately translates what to type, but it can also understand you, like what you say, maybe through text, voice, or any other media that we have, and also where all of the content you consume is more personalized than ever before. I understand that on YouTube we already are having our personalized recommendation on Netflix and all,
Yeah.
but imagine a more personalized way. We can also the early adopters of Web 3.0 have named it as Web 3, and there are few early stages of Web 3 application that already exist today, but their full potential cannot be seen until the new internet is fully integrated with the web infrastructure that we have today.
Yeah.
But what is Web 3.0 and how it will look and how will it affect our lives?
So, yeah, that's a good question, Samarth. I have done my research about Web 3.0 as it's not live yet and it's transforming. I was able to gather some information which I would like to share with you guys. So, basically, Web 3.0 it refers to the next generation of the internet. Currently, we are in Web 2.0, and as 2 comes, as 3 comes after 2, Web 3.0 is the next generation of internet. Here what happens is websites and apps will be able to handle data in a clever human like manner. So basically how a human thinks, basically happens over here, but with a machine in it. Okay, so it uses various technologies like machine learning, big data, and many other technologies which we are listening nowadays. They are going to be embedded into Web 3.0. So basically, Tim Lee was the inventor of the World Wide Web. He also started, small beans for the schematic Web 3.0 schematic web with the goal of creating a more autonomous, intelligent, and open internet. So basically, what happens over here is data will be interconnected in a decentralized form, which would be a big leap going ahead, and for ahead from our present generations of the internet Web 2.0. As I previously mentioned, over here what happens is data is largely housed in centralized repositories.
Yeah, so with Web 3.0, user
Yeah.
and machine will be able to engage with the data as well.
Okay.
But however, for this, programs will be able to comprehend the information both conceptually and culturally. So with this in our mind, the semantic web and the artificial intelligence are the two cornerstones of Web 3.0. So
Okay.
when it comes to the Web 3.0 technologies, there are a few things that we need to know. So the notion is not new. So back in 2006, Jeffrey Seltman, one of the early inventors of Web 1.0 and 2.0 applications, so which is the days that we use HTML, basic URL for the static page or maybe dynamic page for the web. So he wrote a blog post expressing his support for a Web 3.0 application. However, discussion on this subject began around 2001.
So it's really surprising that even though Web 3.0 we have been hearing about this maybe since last year, but the real talk about this has already been started back in 2001.
Yeah.
So I think Web 3.0 will emerge as a natural progression of previous web tools that we have, which will be paired with cutting edge technologies such as AI and blockchain, as well as increased connectedness and internet usage. If you see, Internet 3 appears to be an improvement over its predecessor rather than building something new. It has been evolving. If you look at Web 1.0, then how it evolved into Web 2.0, and what it will evolve into Web 3.0. So that is the thing we can see. But before discussing, Web 3.0, let's see how it progressed from these previous versions. So shedding some light on Web 1.0, I think despite only providing access to restricted content and little to no user involvement, Web 1.0 can also be called as a static web. That is like you cannot interact with it. You can only get information from those static websites. And I think these were the earliest and most reliable internet web pages that we had in our back in 90s. So creating user pages or simply commenting on articles wasn't at all possible back then, because there was no algorithms, to in those internet pages back in web 1.0. It was incredibly difficult for us as for us users as a consumer to obtain useful information. So I think we can simply describe it was like a one way highway road with limited footpath, where a content was created only by a small group of people who had all these resources with them. And the information was largely gathered through directories. They were all linked together, and we can only read those data, and we actually cannot share any opinion or cannot interact with those contents. So Kaushik, what do you think web 2.0? How was it like? What it's like?
Like honestly, listening to you, listening to you about Web 1.0, I'm stuck how people back then used internet. Whereas, I got to research about Web 2.0, which basically is the current web which is going on. Here, what happened is, rather than, people changed their mindset. They did not use internet only to fetch data. Here what's happening is it's communicating as well. It's a vice versa communication. I would like to really thank to many online development technologies like JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and all these technologies. In Web 2.0, they made the internet a lot more dynamic, allowing companies to build interactive web platforms. Nowadays we are seeing YouTube, right? In YouTube what happens is you can upload a video, you can watch a video. So it's a two-way communication. And as well, Facebook and many other websites which are presently running Web 2.0, thanks to these all technologies, we are getting to witness Web 2.0. So here basically what happens is data can now be transferred and shared across several platforms and applications, social networking sites, and internet is everywhere nowadays. A number of web inventors, including a great guy called Jeffrey, he said the technologies used in this internet era. What do you think about the next era is going to be, Daniel?
So let's take a look at Web 3.0. So actually, it's not yet come to our real world yet, but it is like a concept that how the web is going to grow and what is our next step. So it aims to make the internet more intelligent and process information with nearly like a human intelligence using AI systems. So we can run like super clever algorithm to help user and then make it more connect to the internet. So let's take a look at the Semantic Web, which is available in Web 3.0. So according to Tim Lee, it is designed to automatically interact with systems, people, and home gadgets. So with such a powerful interaction, both human and machine will be involved in the whole content development and decision making. So this will allow we generate intelligence, and then we can generate highly personalized content to each other and then every internet user for the future.
Yeah, so Web 3.0 certainly has a lot in its future, but let's discuss some key features involved in Web 3.0. So there are many key features in that, but I find few of those features very exciting, and it is truly to comprehend the next stage of internet, we need to look at these features. So one of the key feature that I can think of, is the ubiquity that Web 3.0 offers. So being or having the ability to be everywhere, especially at same time, we can call it as ubiquity.
Okay.
To put it in another way, we can also call it as omnipresent.
Okay.
In that sense, Web 2.0 is already ubiquitous in nature. Let me give you an example. Like Facebook, user can instantaneously capture and post an image, which then becomes ubiquitous because it is accessible to anybody who has access to Facebook and has access to internet. So he can regardless of the location, as long as they have access to those things, they can see the image. So Web 3.0 simply takes this step further by making the internet available to anybody at any time and everywhere.
Okay.
Because of IoT, that is Internet of Technology, Things technology, it will bring forth a plethora of new sorts of smart machines or gadgets which will be interconnected with each other using internet, and they will no longer be concentrated only on our PCs, computer, laptops, or smartphones, as they are currently with Web 2.0, but they will be interconnected with each other. It will be like a dense graph or a dense net, you can call it. So that is one thing, key feature that Web 3.0 will have.
Yeah, and you even I'm excited to see how 2.0 transforms into 3.0.
So Daniel, what do you think? What else key feature will a Web 3.0 have?
Yeah, also like if we take a look about semantic, so basically the study around it is we study the link between words. So according to Tim Lee, like what a semantic web allow is it evaluate like a large amount of data. So with analyzing the content, transaction, and links between people, we can know much more and gather more information. So let's take a look like what actually semantic does for us. So basically we can consider like two texts. So first one is like I love Bitcoin, and then the second one we can say like I with a smaller symbol, smaller than symbol, and then like a number three Bitcoin. So basically it's like a shortened method of typing I love Bitcoin. So the syntax is like is changed, and actually according to the old days, like it may be meaning differently to the computers, but nowadays with semantic web, they're nearly the same meaning. So based on such pattern, we can know that and group them like the content has the same category of meaning and emotion. So by analyzing it, the machine will be able to decode the meanings. So as a result, we can improve the data connectivity. So user will have a more smooth and better experience on web.
Yeah, so just to add to that, you have said regarding artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? So basically, artificial intelligence is a term that refers to an AI. So it's basically like we are giving the computer we are giving computer a human intelligence basically. Okay, so Web 3.0 machines are clever because they can read and comprehend the meaning and emotions expressed by a set of data. Okay, although Web 2.0 has similar capabilities, I feel it is still primarily human based, whereas they are planning to embed artificial intelligence and machine learning and all these sorts of concepts into Web 3.0. So as Web 2.0 is human based, it allows for a lot of corrupt practices. For example, if there's a product, we can give money and we can advertise our product rather than proper advertising. Here there's a corrupt system coming in Web 2.0, which can be far more developed by Web 3.0. So something like this in Web 2.0, consumers can leave reviews on any products or services using internet, whereas in Web 3.0, because a machine is coming in, consumers can leave reviews on any products or services using internet review system like Trustpilot. Unfortunately, a business may easily hire a huge group of people to write great evaluation for its deserving items. As a result, in order to deliver accurate data, the internet need AI to learn how to separate the genuine data from the fraudulent data. As I was saying it, I just want to discuss about an incident, which happened. That is the GameSpot trading incident. So basically, what happened is Google's AI system was able to roughly erase 1 lakh negative reviews of the Robinhood app. Don't you think like it's a great amount of progress, because 1 lakh reviews might be a deciding factor, and there were negative reviews literally. So basically, Google's AI, it erased those reviews, and it spotted efforts at rating manipulations meant to intentionally downvote the app. This is the AI in action basically. So I believe, or I can strongly say that AI is having a very great capability, and it is soon going to be integrated into Internet 3.0, which once if this is done, then basically what it happens is it allows blogs, other online platforms to shift through data, personalize it to the preferences of individual users. I can very proudly tell that I am going to witness this, and it started in our generations. As AI advances, it will ultimately be able to provide users with the best filtered and unbiased data possible. No doubts about it. What do you think, Samat?
Yeah, so the scenario that you presented, it will really help us, because we find lot of examples of biasness and data filtrations, and the policies that are implemented by the platform as well as the governments. So yeah, that's one application which Web 3.0 will surely have. But along with it, I feel that Web 3.0 will also be known as a spatial web by some people, because it intends to blur the border between real and digital worlds. If you have heard about the recent examples, there have been the real estate or land being sold in metaverse. So I think that is one revolutionary thing. And by removing this border, the graphics technology and the 3D world which will come to us will be almost like a lifelike experience. These 3D graphics, unlike their 2D counterparts, they will provide a new degree of immersion, which will not just be used in futuristic game application, but they can be decentralized and can be used by other industries like in health, e-commerce, and many others. So what are other applications can you come up with, Daniel?
So basically, look, let's take a look about Web3 application. So what we basically need is to digest enormous amounts of data and then turn it into like actual knowledge and meaningful operation. So for the user to use. So basically, this means like looking at our modern application, we still need a lot of effort to improve, and then we are still very far away from actually the Web 3.0 that application that we need. So basically, according to nowadays Amazon, Apple, and Google, they're like these huge corporations. They are developing, and they also trying to transform to like using Internet 3.0 apps. So like basically like Siri, Warframe, Alpha are two applications that make use of Web 3.0 features for nowadays.
Yeah, since I think since Siri's debut in iPhone 4S, the Apple's voice controlled AI systems it has become more sophisticated, and it has increased its capabilities. uh, Siri can perform, I think, a complicated and more personalized request using the speech recognition and artificial intelligence it has. And I think Siri and other AI assistant the like Samsung's Bixby or Amazon's Alexa or Google, they can now understand requests like where is the nearest burger place. Traditionally we could only ask like what is the weather, or keep an alarm, but now we can also tell like make an appointment with some uh, with doctor, or some shop at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and it will respond with appropriate information or action. Even I remember in previous Google I/O, the Google showed a demo where the its AI was making an appointment at a restaurant on behalf of the users. So that is one fascinating thing that I saw.
Yeah, apart from that, something which happened to me in real life is couple of days back. I saw a car driving by itself with no people in it.
Hmm.
Literally, that's like a very great wonder. Apart from that, I also want to tell about Wolfram Alpha. It is basically a computation knowledge engine. It's not basically like other common search engines like Google, which we see. You answers in here directly through computation rather than providing a list of websites. Okay. For example, to see the difference between England and Brazil, search England versus Brazil on Wolfram Alpha and Google. Because football is the most popular search, Google returns World Cup results, even if you don't include football as a keyword. But whereas this this alpha would provide you with a full comparison of the two countries as you requested. This is basically one of the important distinction between how Web 2.0 is performing and how it's going to transform in Web 3.0.
Yeah, so basically after all, we can see that like the new internet is provide purpose is to provide like personalized and tailored surfing experience. So as well as like a smarter and more human-like search helper, and then like other decentralized benefits. So all of these are supposed to help contribute to a more better web. So this will be like accomplished by like letting all individual user to take control of their own data, and then enhancing their overall experience through like a variety of innovation. And we will try to implement this in one day in the future, I think.
Yeah, so thank you guys. It has been a very great thing. I just want to conclude this by saying that the internet will become considerably more intertwined in our daily lives when Web 3.0 arrives, which is difficult to imagine given how smart devices have already impacted our behavioral patterns.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Dan and Kaushik. So, almost all of today's normally offline machines, from home appliances like ovens, vacuums, and refrigerators to all modes of transportation, will become a part of the IoT economy, interacting with
Yeah.
its autonomous server and decentralized applications, and advancing new digital realms like blockchain digital assets to power a slew new tech miracles for the 21st century. And I think the future is very exciting, and let's see how web 3.0 evolves.
Yeah, and also I would like to add to it that our small gathering of information about this Web 3.0, it helps us to kick in front of many people having knowledge of Web 3.0. Thank you for this.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Kaushik, for coming today and having a talk on this.
Thank you.
Bye.